Okay, so let's move on from dynamic microphones to another really common type, and that's the condenser microphone. Now, condenser microphones are also known as capacitor microphones or electrostatic microphones. They're basically used for capturing detail and clarity from an instrument or a vocal track. They do require a power source, provided via a microphone phantom power or from a small battery like a 9-volt battery. This power is necessary as it charges the electric plate, one of these being the microphone's diaphragm. These two plates move closer and closer together, and that's what represents the signal, the electric signal coming out of the microphone. And we can see that here, how the condenser microphone works. So just like the dynamic microphone, everything is encased in the microphone housing. However, unlike the dynamic microphone that works off sound pressure levels, so the louder the sound wave, the louder the output, condenser microphone uses a battery or a power source, often phantom power, which is 48 volts. So the microphone's diaphragm, and if you remember that all microphones have some form of diaphragm, that's the area where the sound waves hit the microphone. It is then converted into an electric signal. So the two plates within the microphone, the front plate, which is it acts as the diaphragm and actually moves when sound waves hit it, and the back plate. These two plates are charged via a battery, like we said, or phantom power. And the closer they get, they produce an electric signal. And it's the membrane between the two plates and their capacitance between them that produces this signal. So some of the advantages of condenser microphones is that they have a high output level. You can use them on quiet instruments like violins or soft vocals, and you're still going to get that high gain, which is what you want. They're known for having excellent flat frequency response. So they're good for recording a wide range of instruments and getting that detail, getting that low end, mid end and top end in terms of frequency from the instrument. Also, a really good thing about condenser microphones is that they'll normally come with a variable polar pattern, meaning that you can change from, say, cardioid, hypercardioid to figure of 8 or bidirectional or even omnidirectional. They give you that extra function where you can use them for a wide range of different recording techniques. However, some of the disadvantages of condenser microphones are the fact that they need this power source to work, this 48 volts from a battery or phantom power. Compared to a dynamic microphone, a condenser is typically a lot more expensive. You're going to see them for maybe £100, $150, depending where you're buying them, but they are considerably more expensive than your sort of run-of-the-mill SM57, SM58 dynamic microphone. Condenser microphones are not resistant to moisture. They don't like outdoor, live, on-location recording. They like a nice, dry recording studio. So let's have a look at some of the most common types. Just like the dynamic microphone, you've got small diaphragm and large diaphragm types. In the small diaphragm condenser microphones, you've got stuff like an AKG C451. Really good for spot microphones and overheads. You'll have two of these. You can use them for stereo recording technique, point them down at your drums and you'll get a really good overhead ambient stereo mix from that drum kit. Similar to that is the AKG C1000. You will find that microphone in any studio, any professional studio around the world. They're used on hi-hats, they're used on snare drums, they provide excellent detail, really flat frequency response, fantastic. Similar to the AKG C1000 is the Rode M3. Again, great for close mics on drums and for really good overheads, getting that detail. So conversely to the small diaphragm condenser microphones, you've got the large diaphragm condenser microphones. You've got stuff like the AKG C414, known for being excellent for vocals, really good detail, gives you that ability to change the polar pattern if you want to do that. You've also got the Rode NT1, which is a sort of budget condenser microphone. It doesn't have a variable polar pattern, but excellent for recording studio vocals, if you want to use it for podcasts or broadcasting speech, and compared to some of the others like the C414, the Rode NT1 is relatively cheap, about $150, £100. And then what you've got, the SE3300A vocal or room ambient recording microphone. That is a large diaphragm condenser microphone, and it gives you great clarity for vocals, acoustic guitar, or if you want to use it as an ambient mic, you place it in the room and the musicians, it'll record that ambience as well as the musicians in the space recording, but as well as the space itself. It'll give you really good clarity of the acoustics and the environment where you're actually recording.